Hi, everybody. Yes, we're ready for the final game of the World Series, 1955. And for the past 24 hours, it has been said over and over across this great land of ours, this is it.
A lot of people say that baseball is America's national pastime. The story of the Brooklyn Dodgers embodies this idea. And you don't have to be into sports to appreciate it. It's beyond sports, beyond New York. A tale woven into the fabric of America. From their humble beginnings as the Brooklyn Grays to their bittersweet move to Los Angeles. It's a journey of hard work, dedication, and the breaking of barriers. I'm going to try and break down the Dodgers' time in Brooklyn, covering key moments, ups and downs, and iconic players. So grab your peanuts and Cracker Jack, because we're going to look at the history of a group that was fondly known as the Bums. However, I prefer the name America's Team. In the early days, the landscape of baseball was constantly changing. Teams and their identities shifted by the season, and Brooklyn's baseball organizations were no exception. Home to several teams like the Excelsior and Atlantic clubs, where gentlemen in wool uniforms played the sport, and without fancy equipment like gloves. At the time, Brooklyn was an independent city, and its cobblestone streets were bustling with horse-drawn carriages. It was in this atmosphere that the direct predecessor to the Dodgers was formed in 1883. Officially called the Brooklyn Baseball Club, but commonly called the Grays. This scrappy bunch played their home games at Washington Park. Led by real estate titan Charles Byrne, they quickly found success in the minors, and they would soon join the American Association as the Brooklyn Atlantics, later earning the nickname of the Bridegrooms after many of the players got hitched. Whatever you want to call them, they won the league pennant in 1889. And although they had made a name for themselves, it was the transition to the National League in 1890 that truly set the stage for their legacy.
Play ball.
In the big leagues, under the guidance of manager William Gunnar McGonigal, the team quickly captured the league championship. However, McGonigal's tenure was short-lived, and the team underwent a revolving door of different managers throughout the 1890s. They went from being Ward's Wonders under John Montgomery Ward to Hanlon's Superbas under Ned Hanlon. Each of these leaders brought their own style and strategy to the field, and were accompanied by a rotating cast of star players. Bunters like Willie Neller, pitchers like William Brickyard Kennedy and Tom Lovett, not to mention sluggers like Tommy Oyster Burns and Candy LaChance. Their collective efforts propelled them to 2 consecutive pennant victories at the turn of the century. By that point, the Great Mistake of '98 was in full effect, making Brooklyn a borough of New York City. Never fear, because with new owner Charles H. Ebbets, they were in good hands. The team almost moved to Baltimore due to financial difficulties, but Ebbets secured new financial backing to keep the team in Brooklyn. Ebbets also recognized the need for a new ballpark, so he acquired land in East Flatbush, having Ebbets Field built in 1913. Fans flooded the stands, where a close-knit atmosphere fostered a unique bond between the audience and players. You can just imagine the scene. Hot dogs sizzling, people laughing, and everyone ready to watch their favorite team, which at this point had gained a new nickname of the quote-unquote Trolley Dodgers. This name stemmed from the network of trolley cars that crisscrossed the borough. And of course, this is the nickname that eventually stuck, but not before the managerial reign of Wilbert Robinson and his beloved Robins. With Uncle Robbie at the helm, in 1916 the team advanced to their first World Series, but lost to the Boston Red Sox, who had a promising new pitcher named Babe Ruth. 4 years later, the team reached the World Series again, but that time lost to the Cleveland Indians. A game where pitcher Burley Grimes threw the last legal spitball before it was officially banned. The Roaring Twenties was the Daffiness Boys era, featuring Zach Wheat's reliable bat and Dazzy Vance's powerful pitch. Then the Great Depression hit, and families scraped together what little they could for a good old American ball game. And it was around this time that a rivalry between Brooklyn and the New York Giants became the most intense in baseball. It was essentially a clash between Brooklyn's proud blue-collar community and Manhattan's polished elite image. Then there's World War II, which the Dodgers felt the impact of, losing key players such as Pee Wee Reese and manager Larry McPhail to military duty. Following this, Branch Rickey became the new general manager, and the team earned multiple pennants throughout the 40s and 50s, with one of the defining moments being the 1947 signing of Jackie Robinson, breaking the color barrier in Major League Baseball. The decision was a bold one and a transformative step in the fight for civil rights. It wasn't easy. People threw insults, and sometimes worse, at Jackie. But in true Dodger form, Robinson dodged it all, and he helped propel the team to new heights. Along with a roster of legendary players like Edwin Snyder, a.k.a. the Duke of Flatbush, and Johnny Padres, a competent left-hander. Around this time, the Topps Company was born in Brooklyn, and they put hometown heroes like this on their trading cards. For years, despite multiple appearances in the World Series, the Boys of Summer, which included star players like Roy Campanella, Carl Furillo, and Gil Hodges, just couldn't shake the Yankees' championship dominance, and it led to an infamous refrain among fans: "Wait till next year." The battle was a local one, Flatbush versus the Bronx, and these must have been some truly exciting Subway series, especially the one in 1955.
Manager Walt Alston very nervously pacing inside of his dugout. Jackie Robinson sitting up on the top step. And the Dodgers are all up along the line, watching carefully. This will be a historical moment if the Dodgers can hang on.
What you just heard was audio from the 1955 World Series, when the Dodgers finally defeated the Yankees. Despite this win, the future of the Brooklyn Dodgers was uncertain. Long story short, owner Walter O'Malley wanted a new stadium, but lacked local government support. Because of this, he made the controversial decision to move the team to LA. The departure of the Dodgers left a hole in Brooklyn that was never quite filled. But I thought it was poetic timing that this year the current Dodgers beat the Yankees in the World Series, as I was working on this video. With that, I'll leave you with sounds of one of the greatest moments in sports history, when America's team finally achieved it all. Have a good one.
The Dodgers leading 2-0. It's the last half of the ninth inning. Johnny Padres into his windup in the 2-2 pitch. A let-up curve, a ground ball to the left side. Pee Wee Reese has it. The throw to first, and he's out. And the Dodgers win by a score of 2-0. Fine play by Pee Wee Reese, and out in front of the mound, they're grabbing Johnny Padres. They're bumping him, pushing him around. The final score is Dodgers 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The Yankees, no runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. Phil Corum will review the highlights of today's game for you. Man, oh boy, oh Padres, this was something. We're very proud of them, and I'm delighted for all our wonderful Brooklyn fans in Brooklyn, Long Island, New Jersey, all over. for the first time in the history of baseball, the Brooklyn Dodgers become the world champions. And they'll mark the year of 1955 as the year that they have long been waiting for. So it's glee in Flatbush tonight and a bit of sorrow in the Bronx.